I can't stop listening to that bloody Ariana Grande song. It's so good. Anyway, hey, I went to the dentist the other day, and first of all, I was so anxious because of that teeth scrapey thing that they do. I think it's probably the worst feeling in the world for me personally. When like obviously the dentist is just like looking and they're scraping away and they've kind of got like their concentration face on. They're not really giving anything away. And you feel like all your teeth might just fall out any second because he's just got this big jabby thing and he's jabbing all your teeth. And you're just like laying on the chair. Like, oh my gosh, he's going to tell me that something's wrong. I'm sure this is pretty common, but my dentist has like pictures up on the ceiling. So I'm just, laying there. I'm holding my breath out of anxiety. I'm staring up at the Van Gogh painting while my eyes just like slowly water because I've also forgotten to blink because I'm slowly leaving my body. And then he just like gets up and is like, yeah, no, all good. Like, your teeth are fine. So yeah, I got anxious for a week for no reason. Story of my life. And my dentist is really lovely. But I did also ask about tongue scrapers because I thought that I noticed that my breath was getting bad. And I thought for some reason, I was like, oh my god, like, and it kind of became an insecurity of mine for like 3 months. I always make sure I have chewing gum on me anyway, especially because I love coffee and I get coffee out sometimes. And I don't want to be like a maths teacher or science teacher breathing on everyone. Yeah, the new thing going around is that everyone is talking about like tongue scrapers, and if you have bad breath, you need to get a tongue scraper. So when he was like, oh yeah, everything's fine, your teeth are fine, I was like, okay, can I ask you a really silly question? Do tongue scrapers actually do anything? And he kind of like pulled a face and he was like, what would you be doing it for? What are you worried about? And I was like, well, I feel like I have really horrible bad breath. And firstly, he was like, oh no, you're fine. Like, trust me, I would know if you had bad breath. Like, your breath is fine. Yeah, I would know. And then he was like, honestly, tongue scrapers don't really work and they don't really do that much, and your breath is fine, so you don't need to do it anyway. Like, you don't need to worry. So I guess me having bad breath for some reason was just all in my head. I don't know why I suddenly thought that I had bad breath. But yeah, he was like, no, you're fine, and tongue scrapers don't actually do that much. So TikTok is a lie, because everyone on TikTok is like, if you have really bad breath, you need to get a tongue scraper. And I'm here to tell you that actually, no, you don't. I think maybe TikTok just makes me paranoid about everything, because I feel like at the end of the day, we're always trying to be like sold something, and I'll like come out of my scrolls insecure about something that I didn't even know I had. So yeah. And I've started playing games on my phone, like Spot the Difference. It calms me down so much. Like, it's so much better than scrolling. Anyway, it was a really rainy day when I went to the dentist. Normally, I have my own little routine that I've kind of built up over the past few years. My dentist is quite close to a beach. So after I have my appointment, I will normally get a coffee, a sandwich, I'll take a walk to the beach, I'll find a nice spot, I'll read for a bit, have my lunch, chill, go home. That's kind of like my little reward for being like a brave girly and going to the dentist and experiencing that awful teeth scraping. And it's also like my little beach day. And this year it just did not happen. It was so windy and so rainy. It was atrocious. It was kind of sad that I didn't get my beach day, but I also think the sheer force of the wind helped me get my hearing back. So there's that, because my hearing's been bad for ages now, and I don't know if it's possible, but I'm pretty sure my hearing has come back because of how windy it was that day. And the thing is as well that it wasn't even raining that heavily, but it was so windy that the rain was just being blown on me. So by the time I got home, it looked like I had taken a bath, but I did get myself a little sweet treat on the way home, so there's that. Anyway, when I got home, I was suddenly like, oh my gosh, everything's so loud. Why is everything so loud? Oh my gosh, I think my hearing's back. Yay. So pros and cons, silver linings. But I bring up the beach day because I feel like I've got a case of the summer scaries. I get summer scaries like every year. I would say this year my summer scaries are worse, but they're also better than last year. I think each year the pressure I put on myself to have a good summer gets less and less. Like, as I grow up in general, I kind of just figure out that everything is not that deep, and as long as I'm enjoying myself in the moment or feeling content in the moment, then it's okay. But also, I have an understanding that everything can't be good 100% of the time. I also know my anxiety a lot better, and I'm like, okay, 8 times out of 10, the thing that I'm getting anxious about or the thing that I keep thinking about is probably not going to be that bad, or, you know, whatever I'm building up to be. But I do also just have some anxiety around the summer, and I always do, for a number of reasons. Like I discussed last video, I have trouble dressing myself when it gets warmer because I don't like showing skin, I don't like showing my arms or my legs. I do sometimes struggle to find an outfit that makes me feel good, but then is also appropriate for how hot it is. I also just don't do well in heat in general. I am getting better with enjoying the heat, but it very much has to be on my terms. And I also feel like I just compare myself to what others are doing, especially in the summertime. And I used to put this big pressure on myself to really enjoy summer and do all these amazing things. And I would beat myself up for not being able to do these things, even if it was things that I kind of knew that deep down I wouldn't really enjoy anyway. And I do kind of feel it when I see people out with their friends having a good time and hanging out, and I'm just feeling it more and more. Not just because of summer, but in general, I felt quite lonely for a while now, and I do have friends. I do have an amazing best friend who I love so, so much. And it's not that I want like a big friendship group. I don't really want a squad or anything. But I would like a few more friends. I would love to have more connections in my life. I've always kind of experienced situations where I've made an effort with people, or I've gone up to people and I've, you know, complimented them or tried to start a conversation or tried to reach out and start a friendship. I've always kind of had a kind of flat, uninterested response, or like a weird glance, or just completely closed off energy. Or, you know, I've met some really lovely people who, you know, have really been lovely to me and kind and good to me, and their energy is amazing. But, you know, when you can just tell like you're not meant to be friends with someone, you just know it's like not that kind of vibe, and you know that they're not feeling it either. And which is obviously all fine, by the way. Like, I don't ever want to force anyone to be my friend. You don't owe me a compliment. If I compliment you, I'm complimenting you because it's the truth and I want you to feel good. But, you know, that doesn't mean that you just have to like give it back to me. Same with people who are lovely. Like, I'm not forcing a situation. Some people, most people, you're just not going to gel with, and that's absolutely fine. It doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad person. It's just the way that things are. But there does come a certain point when you really start to question, like, holy shit, is there something really wrong with me that I just can't make friends, or nobody wants to be friends with me? And I know there are people out there who would love to be my friend, and I just haven't met my people yet. And if I didn't have my best friend, who I love so much and is just so amazing and funny and smart, and is just, I look up to her and love her so much. If I didn't have her, I probably would have a much harder time pulling myself out of the thought system and the belief of, oh my gosh, nobody wants to be my friend. It must just be me. Like, there's something completely wrong with me. Nobody wants me in their life, and it's all my fault, and that's just how life is, and I'm going to be alone forever. But I do have my bad days, and I do wonder, like, what the hell is wrong with me sometimes. Especially with summer coming up, I'm just kind of done with the feeling of feeling alone now. And here's the thing, I'm an introvert. Like, I love spending time with myself. I love my company. I feel like I've really cracked the code of hanging out by myself and genuinely enjoying it and loving it. And so it's kind of getting to the point now where I've kind of proved to myself that, okay, I don't need friends, but I would very much like to have them. And I just want friends who, I just want to have fun with people and have connections. And I don't know, I feel like I've grown so much. Like, when I was little, I was so dependent on people and I didn't trust myself at all, and I needed people around me. And now I'm so independent, I'm way more confident, and I love being by myself. But I feel like I'm at the stage in my life where I'm kind of a bit fed up with that energy. I feel like my life has been the same for a while and nothing's really changed. I haven't really met new people, or I've met new people, but they haven't really stayed in my life for long. I've definitely got more of a stable foundation within myself. I feel like now it's the time for change, it's the time for newness, it's time for magic, especially now going into the summer season. I feel like it's time for life and light and things feeling a bit lighter now. I kind of miss that feeling of magic and anything can happen. I consider myself a spiritual person, but I do struggle with it sometimes because I kind of find myself having to force myself to notice, to see the beauty and the good and the magic in life, and kind of telling myself, well, this didn't work out, but that's okay because something better is going to happen. And then something better just never happening, and or like things feeling like they're actually getting a lot worse. I kind of miss when life seemed to just put things in my life, I guess. Like how my best friend and I met was in university. We were kind of in this group. There was us 4 girls, and I was closer with another girl and she was closer with the other girl, and then she found herself in a position where she really needed a flatmate in short notice, and she asked me. It kind of came out of the blue because there was kind of no one else. I said yes, I moved in, and then we kind of grew close very naturally. It was a very cool, natural process that I remember very fondly, and I will always remember and cherish those memories of us in that flat. And I guess you could say that life smushed us together, and I don't know, I really miss when life did that. Like, I feel like my life really hasn't smushed anything to me in a really long time, and I feel like there have been times in my life, not to get all like woo-woo on you, but there have been times in my life where I felt really good energy, or I felt really connected to the universe, or whatever you want to call it. And I felt like it was literally talking to me through like podcasts or through song lyrics or through whatever. And I felt really good energy, and the messages were always so clear and really positive and really happy. And I felt some really good energy and positive things just happening in my life. Like, I really just like had a feeling, and I knew like, yeah, this is going to happen and there's no doubt about it. And then like a year goes by and nothing has happened, and actually I feel like I'm kind of in a worse situation, which I know, I guess it's just perspective, the way you look at things. On one hand, I am really proud and happy with the person that I am in this moment, and I'm really proud of who I've become, and they do say that things get worse before they get better, but I don't know, sometimes I wonder like how much worse, you know? I'm just a girly who would very much like to start seeing the fruits of her labour kind of thing. And I don't know, for some reason summer and going into this new season and being now in summertime has just brought up and triggered all of these thoughts and feelings for some reason, especially about the friend thing. I don't know, I just feel like I would like summer to feel less like a threat, if that makes sense, and more chill and more like things are actually going to start moving a bit. I think it's so ironic that I've never really liked summer, and yet I was born in summer. I love that my sister was born in autumn and she like hates cold weather, she loves the summer, and I was born in summer and I prefer autumn and like all things spooky and stuff. For Christmas last year, I made her like a little scrapbook, and the first half I made it like a magazine, and I like wrote her a bunch of articles and stuff to do with like sisters and siblings and things. And one of the articles I wrote her was like about how opposites attract, and like how we're very opposite seasons, and how we were like, I was born in her favourite season and she was born in my favourite season, and it just makes me smile that like we were kind of like arrived in like each other's lives in each other's favourite season kind of thing. I don't know. Sorry, that was a side note. Anyway, I think as well, because I've always loved spring a lot as well. Like, I always love spring and autumn, like the sort of like transition seasons, I guess. But yeah, I've loved spring a lot. It's one of my favourite seasons, and I just love seeing how nature reawakens. I love the wildflowers blooming, the grass, the trees, all of the green, the new life. The subtle, gentle, like quiet reawakening, especially this year, I've enjoyed it so much. I think one of my favourite things has been seeing all the baby swans and the baby ducks and just the baby birds, and just watching nature do its thing and being with it and it being with me. I've always felt this ease being in nature. I'm sure a lot of people do, but for me it's the idea of like Mother Nature is always on her time. I've always found a lot of comfort in that idea. That concept has always brought me like a lot of peace in times of anxiety and worry and like self-judgment. When I compare myself to like, oh, I should be here, or I should be here, or I feel behind in life, I'm always like, well, nature is just, she does her own thing on her own time, and I'm comparing myself, like a rose bush doesn't compare herself to like other flowers. Like, she just admires other flowers' beauty, but she's like you know, also beautiful and she's on her own time kind of thing. I don't know. So yeah, I guess I'm just finding myself like in mourning for spring in a way, I guess. I'm really gonna miss this energy of spring. And it was almost like a gentle promise of change. Like everything changes, and there's always newness and new life, and it may take a while, but it will happen. And it was just a gentle reminder to me that it's okay and things are opening up again. And now with summer, I don't know, the vibes are different. The baby birds aren't babies anymore. I'm gonna really miss them. I'm gonna really miss watching them. You know, more people are going outside. That's another thing as well. Like when it rains, no one goes outside. That's when you can sort the people who really love nature and really love their hot girl walks and really just love being outside. Especially when I'm anxious, I can walk for hours, even in the rain. I love the rain. It's so fresh. The sound of rain and the smell of rain, my favourite things. And when it rains, no one is outside. It's brilliant. In the summer, everyone's bloody outside. And every man is bloody shirtless anyway. There's no blossoms. It's hotter. I'm not doing well in the heat. Not to be like a Debbie Downer, but gosh, this is so negative. But yeah, I'm just overall like noticing a bit more like how much others have the connections that I feel like I'm missing, or people have the money or the opportunities that I would like to have. I don't know. I'm feeling good though. There's positives and negatives, obviously, and overall I'm feeling really good. I'm just gonna keep moving forward, do my own thing, try not to get ahead of myself, try not to predict anything good or anything bad. Just try to be in the moment and go from there. I'm gonna try not to put so much pressure on having a good summer. I'm also just trying to feel good or feel whatever I need to feel in the moment. I have lots of things I want to focus on right now. I have goals I'm working towards, and I have things that I want to continue to do and that really excite me and light me up. So I'm going to focus on that as much as I can and just see what comes out of those things and appreciate the season, try and look for the beauty and appreciate it. Appreciate it just like how I appreciated spring, and yeah, just observe and see what happens. Also, sorry, side note, I just googled the hearing thing and the wind thing, and it says that heavy wind cannot restore lost hearing, and that actually it could have the opposite effect and cause damage to your hearing. So in that case, I actually don't know what got my hearing back, to be honest with you, unless Google is lying to me. So I will leave you with that mystery. And this has been a really like weird ranty video, and I'm so sorry, but I just needed to rant about my summer scaries. So yeah. And if anyone else is having summer scaries, don't worry, girl, we're in this together. It's gonna be okay. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just be happy in the moment or feel what you got to feel in the moment. And I will yap to you soon.